The Buck fans hoping this is not the final game of the season for their team, not the final home game either. As George Karl and the Bucks ready, a nice tradition was started. And this was earlier when Karl came out. Every playoff game here at the Bradley Center, when Karl appears, they give him a standing ovation. And then the spotlight is shined on George Karl. He says he's a little embarrassed by it, but he's also having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, when was the last time a coach played? You think he got 50 a game the way he's walking on?
Our starting lineup, Jermaine Jones and Tyrone Hill with Dikembe Mutombo, Allen Iverson and Aaron McKie at the guards. Meanwhile, Glenn Robinson and Scott Williams at the forwards, Irvin Johnson in the middle, and Ray Allen and Sam Cassell at the guards.
For the Milwaukee Bucks, this is all about managing their emotions. They do a good job of that. They can go to Philadelphia for Game 7. If they don't, it's all over.
For Philadelphia, it's solid defense and rebounding as a result of their offensive execution. Patience on that offensive end, and then Iverson, the penetration, shot attempt, a lot of them in the paint, and get to the free throw line.
8 on the shot clock. Mutombo, single coverage. Ray Allen cheating over to try and double, and a 3-second violation call on Mutombo. Now you saw that about how they have not lost 2 consecutive games at home. Obviously they lost game 4, and the Bucks did here at the Bradley Center, but they've been strong at home all season. 31-10 during the regular season, 3rd best in the NBA, and they're 6-2 in the playoffs as we see an offensive foul call.
The problem for the Milwaukee Bucks has been consistent on screens. The screener is not getting set, and Glenn Robinson can't pick up cheap fouls early, nor can Sam Cassell or Ray Allen. So count 1 for Glenn Robinson, and we've only played 30 seconds in the ballgame.
But a good idea to attack Iverson at all times.
Mutombo misfires, Cassell the rebound. Again, the Bucks trying to force the tempo, something they did so effectively in the first half of Game 5. Williams tied up nicely by Hill. Robinson spinning, leaning, shot short. Mutombo lost it. Scott Williams blocked by Mutombo, but a goaltend.
What quickness by Mutombo. I don't know about that one. That looked like it was right out of his hand.
That was a clean block. Mutombo got the first and then came right back on the second.
That's a great block. Mutombo's impact on this series, on the entire NBA, has skyrocketed in this Eastern Conference Finals.
Bad pass from Scott Williams with the steal. Williams quickly with 4 points. And the Bucks go out of the gate strong.
George Karl said before the game, the key for his Bucks, what are they going to get out of that 4 position? Scott Williams has been woeful the last 2 games.
Allen Iverson, before the ball game, spent a lot of time shooting the ball, and he was making shot after shot, particularly deep. Let's see when he starts to shoot as Jermaine Jones tips it in.
That's a long hook shot from Mutombo. He's hit a couple of them, but from not that far out. And Jones in the right place at the right time.
Larry Brown said his Sixers cannot afford to fall behind by 16 the way they did in Game 5. Too tough to come back on the road in this environment with the crowd so frenzied.
Cassell falling away. Sam Cassell puts it in. Cassell said our backs are against the wall, but it's a wall we could climb. They're a very confident bunch despite being down 3-2 in the series.
Is Philadelphia going to come and give help when Cassell rolls into that low post against Iverson?
And a foul from behind as Iverson went strong.
They called a flagrant.
Well, you know, Aaron McKie walks right in, starts pointing at Scott Williams.
2 times now, Iverson has been hit. Both times he's grabbed that left shoulder.
Oh, there's no question.
Clearly
There's no question that that's
Tell you what, that's close to being a flagrant 2, which is an automatic ejection.
There's no place in basketball for this kind of play by Scott Williams. He's too classy a guy.
Joe Crawford right on top of it made the call. We've got a veteran crew with Joe Crawford, Jack Neese, and Eddie F. Rush. But that was close to being a flagrant 2. Scott Williams is lucky he's still in the game.
Now, he's trying to say that he had his knee out, but that elbow was clearly out, and with intent, he popped him good.
So on the flagrant, you get to 2 shots plus the basketball. Iverson, 1 of 2.
Now, that's the management of emotions that we've been talking about. These guys have to avoid that kind of attitude and reaction. Iverson with 8 on the clock.
Iverson hits the 3, and he had missed his last 17 three-pointers of this series.
He hadn't made a three since game 1. Didn't play in game 3, but his numbers have really plummeted on the offensive end since the Toronto explosion.
Yeah, but the thing about Iverson, he's due for a big game, and you got to hope that the numbers are not going to come tonight when you need to have a win. Williams open.
Scott Williams able to knock it down. Now, Scott Williams, of all the players on the Bucks, he was the one guy that was honest about the composure. He said, yes, we definitely lost it, yet he's the one with the early flagrant foul.
He's 3 for 3 for 6 early points. He's a skilled player. I don't know why he gets involved in that nonsense.
Mutombo. Hook won't go. McKee picks it, but he's called for a loose ball foul. So Aaron McKee with his first. Now, speaking of Scott Williams, before the game, this was how Scott Williams was warming up. A little football action, which evidently is carried on into the first quarter.
Yeah, but he was quarterback then. You know, quarterbacks never throw fourth-top elbows. That's a lineman's job, a defensive end.
Although the quarterback in this town, Brett Favre's a pretty tough guy.
Now, when Milwaukee struggles, it's when they take a lot of time to try to set up. They were trying to post Glenn Robinson. They fortunately get an illegal defense against Dikembe Mutombo.
Philadelphia's defense trying to keep them in the game right now. George Karl happy with the offensive pace of the game. Certainly cannot be pleased, though, with the mental breakdowns. Offensive fouls, flagrant fouls.
You know, Bill, as long as he's ahead, he's going to be happy with the pace of the game. You know, when they fall behind, we'll see a more active and maybe even nervous George Karl.
Williams misses. Irvin Johnson trying to tip it, but Tyrone Hill with the rebound.
It looked as if Scott Williams wanted to pass that ball at the last moment.
Iverson comes up short. Tough rebound in traffic for Jermaine Jones. Tyrone Hill wide open. And Tyrone Hill knocking it down.
The forwards for Milwaukee not doing a good enough job in boxing out. Granted, the story of this series has been Philadelphia on the offensive glass. Ray Allen trying to get alive early.
And Scott Williams again. Williams with 8 points here in the first 4 minutes.
Well, you have to give up something. And they are willing, that is Philadelphia, to let Scott Williams be the guy to try to beat him. He's not Ray Allen. He's not Big Dog. And he is not Sam Cassell. But he's got 8 early points. Turnover.
Tough to backdoor Tyrone Hill. Not an explosive type of player.
Cassell forces it up. Comes up short. Hill the rebound. Scott Williams, by the way, in this series is averaging just 3 points a game. Yet he already has 8.
Now, the Sixers have been pretty good by not making turnovers. Iverson for another 3.
Back-to-back threes for Allen Iverson. And the Sixers with their first lead in the early going.
Hey, maybe he did see Floyd, huh?
Well, Iverson's starts in this series have been a nightmare for Larry Brown. This is a very, very good sign for Philadelphia.
But I'll tell you why Allen Iverson is making shots today. He's not pulling off his shot. In other ball games, maybe it was the hip, but he was fading too soon. The ball was always short. So you take a look at Allen Iverson's numbers, and you know that 7 for 34.
Wow, 0 for 9 in game 1, 2 for 10 the last game in the opening quarters.
Allen misfires. Johnson the rebound. Irvin Johnson gets inside.
Again, a classic example. Philadelphia victimized by their own strategy. They give up penetration. Once that happens, guys get in the lane. We saw that for a decade with Michael Jordan. He gets in the lane. Rodman and Pippen would be all over those offensive glass.
Iverson, Allen gets up on him.
Yeah, he's feeling pretty good now. He's dancing around that line. Gets a foul.
Offensive foul on Allen Iverson.
Well, there is no love lost between Iverson and Ray Allen, the two combatants in that confrontation. They have been, particularly Ray Allen has been challenging Allen Iverson in the media.
Well, Allen Iverson doesn't complain. Ray Allen got a break that time. He wasn't set, and the Bucks get it back, but you can tell it's a different Scott Williams and a different Allen Iverson here in the first quarter.
And you're trying to tell me this game is not mental? Where has this guy been for 2 solid
Well, in the last 2 ball games, he's had foul problems. He's had 2 quick fouls, but they are willing to gamble off of Scott Williams. They're going to give him that shot. He's not going to make that shot the entire game.
Jermaine Jones throws it away.
They're going to take their chances. This is the 3rd turnover.
Nice pass.
Cassell blocked by Mutombo. Good transition defense.
phenomenal Mutombo.
Iverson short. Tyrone Hill with the offensive board. And a timeout called by Larry Brown. Brown certainly wouldn't like this tempo.
He did not want to wait till the dead ball, which would have been the automatic timeout. He just called it himself to control the pace.
Scott Williams, 10 points in the early going as the Bucks lead by 3. Bucks with all their big scores, they get 10 of their 14 points from Scott Williams here in the beginning.
Well, you know, Scott Williams was a guy that was bickering with his own teammates here in Game 4. Comes out with a hard foul, but he is very active, running the floor and taking advantage of the defense of the Philadelphia 76ers. They are sucking back in to make sure that Cassell doesn't penetrate, Ray Allen doesn't penetrate, so they're going to gamble that he can't keep this up. 5 of 6 here early in the ball game. The rest of the team 2 of 7. Allen hasn't taken a shot so far in the ball game.
If you watch Game 4 and 5, you wouldn't even guard Scott Williams after those performances.
He gets the rebound there. Williams in the first game of the playoffs against Orlando had 19 points and 16 rebounds. Everyone was ready for a big postseason, but as Bill mentions, he's been very quiet in this series. Allen knocks down his first field goal.
But you have to, you have to be a Scott Williams like that all the time, and he has to live off of the efforts of Cassell, Robinson, and Allen, and so Larry Brown is saying, we're not going to guard him. And until he can prove he can continue to do that.
Iverson's so good.
Shot won't go. Rebound, Scott Williams.
Now, on the last 2 shots for Allen Iverson, he's starting to pull off that shot again.
Ray Allen for 3. And Tyrone Hill tracks it down.
Ray Allen, who had been at the center of a swirling controversy here, may have spent too much time focusing in on things not germane to the game itself.
Jermaine Jones misses, and a loose ball foul is going to go against Milwaukee. Last couple of days, Ray Allen talking about even bringing up the idea of this conspiracy that the NBA
Stronger
would like
language than that, though.
Philadelphia into the NBA Finals. Just ridiculous and very unlike Ray Allen to get involved in that kind of
shocking. I was dismayed.
That happens, though, when players don't win games that they think they should win, and they feel that they're being taken advantage of. But the reality is you've got to play. You've got to win the game out on the floor. And all somebody has to do is remember to tell Ray Allen San Antonio played New York, which is the bigger city.
How about Indiana in the playoff last year in the finals? How about Portland? How many times have they been to the finals? Phoenix.
If you're looking for that as a crutch, you're in some trouble. 8 on the shot clock. Robinson with Jones on him. Shot clock at 2. Robinson has to put it on.
Philadelphia's defense so strong, but they can't control their defensive backboard.
Irvin Johnson had it knocked out of his hands and gets knocked to the floor. Iverson exploding underneath and a foul. Chance for a 3-point play for Allen Iverson, who now has 9 points.
Now, the worst thing about this for Glenn Robinson, he didn't want to give a foul when he should have. And that is his second. But you can see Glenn Robinson, after the ball is in Iverson's hand, is giving ground. And then at the last minute, he decides to try to make a block.
When you give ground like that, you've got to get onto that right hand. You can't just let the guy come flying by. Now, granted, Allen Iverson is a rocket out there. And there's nobody in the league who can stay up with him, certainly not a forward. But when you have that much space, Glenn Robinson has got to position himself to force Allen Iverson to change direction. Robinson to the bench, Tim Thomas in.
Off the tip, Iverson.
You talk about the big start. When your MVP comes out and sets the tempo.
Substitutions, again, Robinson sits down with 2 fouls.
Technical foul, Allen Iverson for getting in Joe Crawford's face.
Joe Crawford, one of the premier officials in the NBA. He's in his 24th season, but he also doesn't waste time teeing up players. He does not give you a lot of rope on that, and the veteran players should know that.
Allen Iverson is arguing that, look, I got my tooth knocked out the last time I tried to reach in defensively. In Game 4. Now, Ray Allen does the right thing by positioning himself, using that off arm to protect the ball and himself.
Well, if you're going to reach in, don't reach in with your face exposed. Ray Allen got away with a push.
Cassell on the pull-up. Sam Cassell misfires, but Mutombo the rebound. But getting back to the technicals, one of these guys is going to learn that it can make a difference between your season ending and you advancing. You just shake your head.
And you talk to him during the dead ball or a timeout.
2-point Milwaukee lead. Mutombo, single coverage with Williams.
Swing the skyhook.
Knocked away, good help defense.
The big man, Scott Williams, pounding the floor for Milwaukee.
Nice crossover move. Oh, Ray Allen with a beauty. And the Bucks back up by 4.
Larry Brown's objective is to keep Ray Allen, Sam Cassell out of the open court. And on a turnover, that's the kind of play that Milwaukee wants to stay with.
Iverson. Aaron McKee, 5 on the shot clock. McKee hoisted up. Scott Williams got a good hand in his face. And the ball knocked out of bounds by Tyrone Hill. Timeout, Milwaukee.
Anytime Milwaukee can get the ball in the open court, they're going to be in an attack mode. And Eric Snow, single coverage down there by himself, reaching in, trying to make a steal. Allen for 2 more.
If you're going to lead the league in steals, if you're going to put your body in harm's way, if you're going to play defense with your face, all things that Allen Iverson are more than willing to do, you have to be willing to accept the physical punishment. When he reaches in, that instinctive elbow, that reflex of Ray Allen, that causes Allen Iverson, who got his tooth knocked out 2 games ago, to pick up a technical foul, and the technical fouls in this series predominantly assessed to the Milwaukee Bucks.
And again, a very quick technical on Iverson, but Joe Crawford doesn't like when players are demonstrative in complaining. That's what Iverson did that time.
Now remember, the team that has made the most turnovers has lost the ball game, and that has been Milwaukee in the last 2. But here early in the ball game, Philadelphia's turned the ball over 6 times for 6 points, and it's a 4-point advantage for Milwaukee. So Philadelphia's got to watch the cross-court passes and make better decisions with the ball, particularly when it goes to Mutombo. 8 on the clock for Hill.
One-handed shot from Hill is short. Irvin Johnson, who's come out very strong in this one with his 4th rebound.
Eric Snow's running gait is painful to watch.
Allen for 3. Oh, what a quick release, and Ray Allen looks sharp here in the first quarter. 8 points for Ray Allen.
The best way for Ray Allen to move beyond this self-inflicted wound with his ill-advised statements is to come out and have a huge game. Offensive foul.
Foul call down low. Will go against the 76ers. Tyrone Hill with his first.
What Larry Brown wants his players to do, and they don't, is defend the jump shot before the guy gets to the spot where he wants to release it. So Allen Iverson was guilty of giving Ray Allen too much room. And when you give Allen that kind of room because he's so quick to stop and pop, you're going to pay if he's on the dive.
Scott Williams sits down, and Jason Caffey, who was very aggressive, had one of his better games of the series. He's been very quiet in this series, but he played well in Game 5. He comes in for the first time.
Philadelphia is putting some much-needed defensive pressure full court.
Allen, another 3.
The strength of Ray Allen's game is not creating his own shot off his own dribble. Movement without the ball, coming off those screens. He's doing it beautifully tonight. The ball movement is sharp. The ball is being delivered on the mark, and he is releasing.
As you go from a 4-point game to a 6-point game, is which Larry Brown didn't want to see his team do, so they need to score right here to stop the bleeding.
McKee misfires. Todd McCullough just in the game. Iverson for 3. And that won't go. This first quarter, much like the first quarter of Game 5, with a tempo favored the Bucks, and they were shooting the ball well.
Larry Brown said his biggest concern was quick outside shots. He knows, and he tells Iverson, look, you got to shoot a lot. You got to take 30 shots, but they got to be shots in the paint, and you got to be shots you can get fouled on. Early in the shot clock, those threes, not what the Sixers want or need.
Allen, tough shot. Caffey comes flying in for the strong rebound.
Timeout. He's trying to call a timeout. The referees won't look at him.
A 22nd timeout. Caffey will call. 19 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Bucks in control in the early going. A 9-0 run by the Bucks, led by Ray Allen.
Ray Allen is a quick shooting jump shooter, and you have to get to him early. And again, on a switch, they got Todd McCullough running out at him. So who's ever guarding Ray Allen is going to have to stay a lot closer to that, because Allen now has that feeling.
Tyrone Hill, who normally plays, McCullough gets about 9 minutes a game. Hill is better at switching onto those perimeter screens. McCullough a better interior scorer than Hill is.
Shot clock is turned off. Allen goes inside. Ball knocked away. Johnson on the follow. McCullough the rebound. And the buzzer will sound. Ray Allen very upset. He felt he was hacked on that last
The
drive.
referee waved him off and said, hey, look, you pushed off. I could have called that foul, but it was Mutombo's defensive presence that denied both of those opportunities for Milwaukee.
But a strong overall first quarter for the Milwaukee Bucks. Scott Williams got it done early. Ray Allen with the final 9 points. 1 quarter complete. Bucks trying to stay alive. They lead by 10. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Welcome back to Milwaukee as we get ready for the second quarter. I'm Jim Gray. I'm now joined by a man who's been in the NBA for 32 years. His last couple of years, he's been with the Los Angeles Lakers, Frank Hamlin, and Frank is here to scout this series. This is the first time that you have seen this series or anybody from the Lakers live. Why?
Well, we get a better picture on TV. You know, we have to look through cameramen. We have to look through players. You know, you do get a sense. You do get some calls, but you get much better picture watching on TV or watching on film.
Of course, the downside is you have to listen to Bill Walton. But in this instance here, who would be a better opponent? Who would be more formidable? You guys went 0-2 against Milwaukee. Would they be tougher?
Well, we went 0-2 against them. We split with Philadelphia. I can't really tell you. Both of them present problems for us. Dikembe Mutombo would present problems for us. Philadelphia, the Milwaukee perimeter people would certainly bother us, you know, with Milwaukee. So we just have to see how it plays out, Jim.
All right, Frank, we look forward to seeing you and the Lakers in the finals.
Thank you.
All right, back to you, Mike.
Thank you, Jim. Ray Allen now with the last 12 points.
What a zone he's in.
But, well, not only is Ray Allen shooting the ball well, but the Sixers are helping him out because they're trying to throw this cross-court pass. Every time they have tried to make that play this evening, the Bucks have picked the ball off, and they are making them pay. So Allen on a roll right now, and the 76ers have to do a better job of attacking the basket and not coming back cross-court.
Allen hits the first.
Sixers are in a world of trouble right here. They're in danger of losing any sort of touch and control with the Bucks. Make it so hard. You've got to make the other team pay a price, even if you are going to go on and eventually lose again.
Ray Allen now 16 consecutive points. Snow's pass from Mutombo gets deflected. Here comes Allen again.
Time for a Ray Allen heat check here.
Oh, just shoot one, just to shoot one?
Just
He's
go
already hot.
Just go out and find out how hot you are.
Lindsey Hunter misfires. McCullough has the ball knocked out for the Sixers' control.
Can you get any hotter than making every shot? Oh, no response.
I thought you were talking to Mike.
Good defense from Hunter. Iverson, tough shot, way short. And here come the Bucks again. Ray Allen spotting up for three. Bang! 19 consecutive points for Ray Allen for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Larry Brown wants a timeout, and what he's going to tell him is, guys, nobody's guarding Ray Allen. That's why he's lighting us up.
But also, no one is scoring on the other end for Philadelphia. They have 15 points, and they're shooting under 30% as a team.
They start the second quarter with an 8-0 run, and the lead is ballooned to 18. Ray Allen just yesterday awarded for his fine overall season with the All-NBA third team, but he's playing like a first-teamer here in this first half.
That's where I placed him on my ballot, and what we're seeing right now is the Milwaukee Bucks at their best. And what Philadelphia has to do is respond with some sort of competitive challenge, or otherwise we're looking at Game 6 of the Toronto series, where Philadelphia said, look, we're just winning in 7 at home.
How many ballots did you get, Bill? I mean, you have Kobe Bryant on your first team
No, I had
ballot.
Kobe Bryant on my second team. I had Iverson and Ray Allen.
Foul on the pass-off. The whistle. And the foul. Lindsey Hunter picking it up. That's Hunter's first.
This is a position that the Sixers did not want to be in. But it was 19-15. They were in a good spot. And they let Ray Allen get cooking. They have lost their mental focus right now, and as tough as they are, they put themselves in a real difficult position. Now they got to cut this lead down to single digits by the break.
Aaron McKee.
Beautiful defensive rotation. Oh, but McCullough was just too strong and too quick.
Don McCullough, great hands down low.
This is the first time in a long time that Milwaukee has played well when Sam Cassell's been on the bench.
That ends the run at 17-0.
They popped Allen Iverson again.
He took another shot from Hunter. Glenn Robinson. Hunter steps back. One dribble. That's a two-pointer. Puts it in. And Iverson's holding onto his mouth again.
Well, what Brown needs to do is take a timeout and get him calmed down, and then make that competitive fire go to work for him.
The problem is that Philadelphia, they're going to run out of timeouts.
Remember in Game 5, the Sixers were down 16 in the second quarter as McKee comes up short, but they were on their home floor in that game. Hunter. Tim Thomas for three. Everything going Milwaukee's way. A 21-point lead.
George Karl said he was very concerned at the end of Game 5 with the emotional fragility of his team. He has got to be extremely proud right now the way they've responded.
Tyrone Hill, good fake. Hill can't hit. Happy the rebound. This place is becoming a madhouse.
If you're Milwaukee, just keep running and never look back. Another cross-court pass.
Allen for three.
If you're Philadelphia, you got to know that they're going to miss those shots, and eventually that's going to allow you to get in the game. But you got to get in an offensive rhythm yourself. You cannot stay scoreless as long as they have. Iverson got off to a good start, trying to find the rhythm again, and now the ball won't drop.
The Sixers now shooting 29% from the field.
George Karl commenting how he needed great play from the four position, the power forward guys. Scott Williams and Jason Cappy have been near flawless tonight.
Robinson posting up Snow. An easy two for Robinson against the much smaller Eric Snow.
Larry Brown has seen it now. He's got to do something radically different here. They've got 17 points.
The Milwaukee Bucks blowing out the Sixers here in the first half. A 24-2 run from the end of the first to early in the second. 40-17. A very rough start for Allen Iverson and the Philadelphia 76ers getting pounded, and Iverson getting knocked in the choppers again. This, of course, was Game 4.
In Game 4, out at half court in the closing moments, Allen Iverson reaches in. That started it all between Ray Allen and Allen Iverson. And tonight, the second time, Lindsey Hunter, just the reflex of when a guy reaches in, you're trained to protect that ball. Those arms come out, and if the little guy's reaching in like that, he's going to pay the price, which he's more than willing to do, Iverson.
It doesn't appear anything malicious or intentional, as you say, reflexive. Iverson gets inside, pretty move, can't finish. Rebound, Tyrone Hill. Hill foul by Thomas, puts it in, and he'll get a chance for a three-point play. And the Sixers just have to slowly try and work themselves back into this.
Grind it out. Try to keep the three-point barrage at bay. Allen Iverson has to continue to get into the paint. That's what allows all those innumerable offensive rebound opportunities. If everybody comes to block Iverson's shot, that just leaves Tyrone Hill wide open.
The game plan for George Karl is to always have people running at Iverson, and that's the reason they're going to give up the offensive rebound. He's not so much concerned about the offensive rebound if they're going to get other people shooting the ball other than Allen Iverson. He said he'd live with that. What they want to do is continue to make shots. If they continue to make shots, they win this game.
The last foul on Tim Thomas is first. Now, we saw this from Milwaukee-Bill in Game 5. The tempo was all theirs in the first half, not in the second. What causes it to stop like that?
George Karl said it was fatigue. I thought it was the Philadelphia defense and the concentration on the little things for Philadelphia. Having the home court advantage in Game 5 really helped as well.
Well, again, look at the defense of the Philadelphia 76ers. Here early in the ball game, it has been one open shot after another. Now, let's give them the shots off Scott Williams, but you cannot give them shots on Ray Allen when he's wide open and torching.
And as a follow-up to your question, when you're Milwaukee and you're playing like that, when you're playing great, You got to tell yourself to keep the edge. You got to tell yourself to keep working, keep running, and no matter the score, don't look at the score. Think every time you've got to just ram it down their throats.
Happy, who just picked up the last foul, battling Tyrone Hill. Tough shot from Tyrone Hill, and Hill with 7 points and 6 rebounds, but the Sixers still down by 18.
And again, free movement of the ball. When you let the ball move that freely, you're going to get hurt. Milwaukee guilty of it that time because Tyrone Hill was wide open, big dog.
And Robinson, just his second field goal, but it was the brilliance of Ray Allen that catapulted the Bucks.
Philadelphia has also utilized their timeouts better during this series. They have been the superior team, making the adjustments during timeouts.
Mutombo misfires, and Cassell leading it the other way.
Now, why is Mutombo having more trouble with the sky hook today than he did in Philadelphia? Because he had a rhythm in Philadelphia. He was taking that big, long stride. Now he's trying to jump up and explode, and he's never been good in that shot. Foul, Tyrone Hill.
Only the second team foul, and Hill with his second personal, so the Bucks will inbound. We're just about at the midway point of the second quarter.
You know what? He doesn't get the rhythm. When he has to collect himself, he has a difficult time getting a good, even release on the ball.
But he was coming for the jump hook that time. You know that because he leaves his lead foot on the ground as his pivot foot. He's been much more effective with the classic Jabbar sky hook.
I don't know if you can ever say, though, Mutombo's in a rhythm. He always looks so awkward, but certainly effective, as is Irvin Johnson.
Penetration and dish. Very simple game. You get wide open shots. Almost everybody can make those.
Everything going right for the Milwaukee Bucks. McKee. Hill left open, and Tyrone Hill answers.
When Tyrone Hill gets in a slot like that and gets the ball up in the air, he's got a good chance of making it. 7 points here in the quarter for Hill. He's a guy that's doing all of the offensive damage.
Robinson again.
This is an offensive display that is absolutely beautiful.
Now, let's remember.
Quick release, ball movement, no dribbling, no pump faking.
Philadelphia down 21 against Toronto, made a huge run in the third quarter to get within 2. They know they're capable of getting back in the game, but they got to stop making turnovers, and most of those turnovers have come in a cross-court pass situation. Mutombo the foul.
That you're talking about was game 6. They were up 3-2 in that series as well. But they've got a long way to go to come back on this one, but a long time to do it.
But for Milwaukee, everybody, the whole roster is playing well. That's tough to overcome.
Larry Brown's team down by 22, and he let his team know how to get back in the game.
We just got to get one stop at a time and one field goal at a time. That's all we got to do. Let's concentrate.
Well, that's the key thing right there, concentration. This almost is a replay of game 2 of this series where Larry Brown was telling his guys, you're reacting, you're not initiating it. If defense is going to be any good, they've got to initiate.
But there's that sense that we got from Larry Brown at the end of game 5 on the post-game press conference that, hey, we had to spend so much effort to win this game. 10 turnovers for Philadelphia on 10 baskets. That's a horrendous ratio there, but the sense that Philadelphia might have used everything they had to win game 5 and go up 3-2.
Mutombo the offensive rebound. McKee gets it back to this, the largest lead of the game for the Bucks. Tyrone Hill. Jermaine Jones. Excellent defense from Milwaukee. That's a 3. And Aaron McKee able to put it in for his first field goal.
Mutombo's offensive rebound, all he had to do was turn and go in. They're fortunate to come out of this with 3 points. Look, every coach is going to say that after they won the game. They still got to win the series, so you can't even worry about what you got left. They got to come out, they got to compete.
Which is why if you're Milwaukee, you just come out and pound up and down that court.
And the Bucks continue to stroke it beautifully. Now shooting 55% from the field.
Larry Brown always talks about the right way that Philadelphia's got to play. Well, the right way for them is going to be defending and really being energized. Sam Cassell gets called for the foul. A late call, but a right call against Allen Iverson.
When you're up by that many, you smile as opposed to argue, and that's what Cassell did.
Depends on what kind of foul trouble you're in. Now, early foul troubles really plagued Milwaukee down the stretch. When they came together on that defensive split, looked like Cassell had very good position, and Iverson just was the pinball wizard.
For Iverson and the Sixers, they need to get this game down to about 15 by the break. They'll have a chance. Again, the reason that he's missing, he's fading, and he's not real good when he pulls off this shot. And when he first started the ball game, he was going straight up. They were dropping.
Cassell, Scott Williams. Williams, of course, don't forget his accomplishments. 10 points in the first quarter. He really got the Bucks off to a terrific start before Allen took over. McKee with a tough shot. Jermaine Jones, the offensive rebound. Rush to follow. 4-on-2 break for the Bucks.
Big men running the floor. Scott Williams getting it done, and a foul. Ill-advised foul by Jermaine Jones. Never foul a guy once he gets up in the air. You can't do anything about that.
So Jones picking up the personal. That's his first. Two-shot foul, and Robinson will go to the line.
Remember when Larry Brown this afternoon was talking about defending Glenn Robinson, and really all the stars, Ray Allen, Sam Cassell. He was saying that we got to do a better job, the Sixers, of defending before guys ever receive the ball. If you let these great scorers like Robinson, Allen, and Cassell get the ball in their rhythm, in good position with solid footwork, they're going to torch you.
Log on to NBA.com and make your own in-progress highlight reel of every game with my highlights. And email the NBA commentators, including the Bucks' Lindsey Hunter and the Sixers' Tyrone Hill, all on NBA.com. Robinson now with 10 points, all here in the second quarter.
As good as the Bucks sticks are, you know, when the game is close and tight, they're different kinds of players. And so the goal for Philadelphia is to try at some point to reel them in, to try to get some control of the game. Snow.
Allen the rebound. Scott Williams release him. Robinson the trailer. Fouled by McKee.
Dave, the problem that Philadelphia is facing is that they are not a real explosive offensive squad. They got 27 points. They sometimes struggle to get 90 in a game. They might not get 75 in this one.
All right, Bob, Doc Rivers' magic gave the Bucks all they could handle. Now, here's what happened between Eric Snow and Sam Cassell. Watch Cassell after Snow takes the shot. Snow felt that Sam Cassell got under him a little bit too far there. And after the play, the two talking back and forth. But good sportsmanship from Cassell went over and kind of said, hey, no intention there.
It was a similar play early in this series where Eric Snow turned that ankle, and they ultimately decided there was a new stress fracture in that right ankle, landing on the guy after he comes in underneath you when you're up in the air.
There's no way that you're going to convince Eric Snow that that wasn't intentional. He's just letting them know, I'm not taking it.
So Sigmund, it seems as if they've solved some of the psychological turmoil.
Yeah, they're playing ball. I mean, you know, instead of crying and worrying about everything else that's going on, they come out and become the aggressor. Good things have happened for them.
Scott Williams bumping into McKee.
Nice closeout defense.
Iverson short.
Again, fading and pulling off the shot. And now he has missed his last 7 and 6 in this quarter. So Allen Iverson started out the same as Ray Allen at the end of the first quarter, 4 of 9. Allen continues to roll along with the big dog. And Allen in the corner for 3.
Ray Allen again. 22 first half points for Ray Allen. A brilliant shooting performance. And it's a 30-point lead.
And they're, did you say 30-point lead?
And maybe you ought to send Allen Iverson to see me the next time, and we'll get him straight for game 7.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Still Sixer ball with 6 left on the shot clock.
Now watch Allen Iverson, who has a tendency to fade anyway. And when he fades, he's got to make another adjustment, and he's pulling off the shot, which makes it come up short. When he shoots the ball like that, the results are rim, and he's missing, and then that puts pressure on his confidence. He's got to go straight up and release the ball.
But he's shooting 27% for the series.
Forget about the series. You don't make shots if you don't shoot them correctly. What do you know about shooting?
He shot 33% only 2 times in the Toronto series. Guy's getting worn down.
No, if you go to the games in which he shot and had the 50-point games and Sam Cassell turns it over, you look at that jump shot. It was a different shot. It was cleaner. He was going straight up. He was releasing better. And since then, and maybe it's the injury, so let's give him something. But Allen Iverson is not the same shooter. He's not a great jump shooter to begin with, but when you pull off a shot like that, you reduce your chances.
That was only the second turnover for the Milwaukee Bucks. Again, 10 turnovers for Philadelphia. Aaron McKee. Iverson trying to get back past Ray Allen. McKee, nice ball fake, and able to put it in.
Now that's what Larry Brown wants. He wants a possession and a score. And so it's going to be really tough, but they're not going to quit on this game. The 76ers will go into the break, and they'll talk about what they can do better to change the tempo of the game and try to get defensively aggressive to reel in the Bucks.
But did you see how hard, now bring this one out and make them play the full 24 again. Did you see how hard it was for Philadelphia to score on that jumper, and they had to use the entire shot clock to do it? And here's Ray Allen.
Another three! Ray Allen! An electrifying performance here in the first half. 6 of 8 from three-point range. He's got 25 points.
Now this is the same Ray Allen that showed up in game 2. Eric Snow with an air ball.
Now, do you think that Ray Allen is still concerned about that conspiracy?
Well, they haven't won anything yet, so it doesn't make any difference about the conspiracy. You know, they got to win game 4. All this does when they win this game is pull them even. Ray Allen is playing like Ray Allen played in game 2 right now, and never been in a game 7 in an Eastern Conference final on the opponent's floor. So if we get to that stage, and we got to have to play, we'll find out whether Ray Allen goes back to the conspiracy theory.
This play should be all Ray Allen here. Put a capstone on this masterpiece.
They were chanting MVP during one of the recent timeouts.
MVP of what? Tonight?
I think they were talking about their hero for the season, but Thomas for 3. Ball knocked out of bounds, and it's Philly ball with 3.4 remaining.
Sam Cassell calling his squad up.
Kevin Ollie will come in. Mutombo sits down for the final shot. Eric Snow does not get it off in time, would not have counted anyway. And a fitting ending for the Sixers here in the first half as the Milwaukee Bucks absolutely dominant. The brilliance of Ray Allen. 25 first half points. 6 of 8 from three-point range, and he's with Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Ray Allen with 25 points. Ray, what ignited you here in this first half that's been missing in the past 3 games?
I think so much was going on outside of the game. I just want to come out here and have a great game for my team tonight.
Now you're up 29 points. Last game you guys were up 16. It may seem insurmountable, but what are you going to do to guard against giving up this lead tonight?
We know anything can happen here in the NBA. Philadelphia is a great team. We got to come out and play it possession by possession every time down the floor.
All right, Ray, good luck in the second half.
Thanks,
Great
John.
first half.
Thanks.
All right, back to you, Mike.
All right, Jim, some nights it just all falls into place, certainly through the first 24 minutes for Ray Allen. George Karl, after the disappointing Game 5 loss in Philadelphia, stressed to his team, we have to re-energize mentally and physically. Well, they certainly did that in the first half, led by, again, the brilliance of Ray Allen. Bucks trying to stay alive. They trailed 3 games to 2, but looking to force a Game 7. Coming up after these messages, Ahmad, PJ, and KJ standing by in New York with net 0 at the half. Bucks in a romp here in the first half. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC.
Back in Milwaukee as we prepare for the second half. I talked to Larry Brown a few moments ago and just asked him to really prioritize the problems in the first half, and he said really things got off on the wrong foot right from the beginning when Ray Allen hit that open jumper and things were just going bad. He said their effort has gone the wrong way. In the third quarter, they have to sort of start this game over and play with the type of efficiency and effort that they expect. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you, Lewis. I talked to George Karl. He said it was our best half of the season. We absolutely cannot play any better. I would like to bottle this for the second half, and more importantly, see if it carries over to Sunday. Mike?
All right, Jim. Glenn Robinson kicking out. Allen. Oh, Ray Allen picks up where he left off. Another three.
Steve, this may be more than just a few technical and strategic adjustments for Philadelphia.
Not really. I mean, again, it's free ball movement, and you got a great free shooting team. Milwaukee's certainly capable of doing that. That is Ray Allen's 7 3-point field goal. That ties what he did in Game 2 when he had a career high 38. But, you know, right now, Milwaukee's at their best, and Philadelphia certainly is nowhere close to being the Philadelphia 76ers who dig in and play. McKee and Williams get into it.
So Scott Williams fouling McKee. McKee with some words afterwards, and the officials quickly separate him. Second foul on Scott Williams.
Does Philadelphia have enough in them to exact a price here from Milwaukee that has just been gliding?
Well, I don't think there's so much concern about exacting a price. They want to get back to Philadelphia style of ball. They know that they're going to be in a Game 7, and they got to start doing things that will control the game for them. Jermaine Jones.
In case you're wondering, what's the biggest halftime deficit that a team in an NBA playoff game has come back and won? It's 21 points. The Baltimore Bullets were trailing by 21 at halftime back in 1948 against the Philadelphia Warriors and came back and won. And, of course, this was a 29-point deficit at halftime.
The thing that you know about Philadelphia, they don't quit. So even though they're down by this big number, they've seen themselves come back. Ray Allen on the break.
Count it, and a foul. Ray Allen putting on a show. He's got 30.
The perfect performance after a disastrous 48 hours. What a response. What an exhibition of how to play this game. Hanging in the air, double clutching. Telling us before the game it's the biggest game of his life for a number of reasons.
So I guess in Game 6, the universe is upset again because the asteroids from Ray Allen are being bombed in all over the place.
This is the Milwaukee Bucks team that fans have fallen in love with over the course of the season.
A 33-point lead. It's hard to believe in a series that has been so competitive. Mutombo gets the roll. Now, often you see when teams get big leads early in a game, especially in the first half, they kind of lose their edge. The Bucks are showing no signs of that whatsoever.
And Philadelphia has the ultimate pillow. They've got Sunday at home.
Well, what they've got to do is pick up their energy. I mean, if you're the Philadelphia 76ers and you see the ball and shots being taken without people being challenged, you know you're not playing Philadelphia basketball. So that's what they've got to get back to, and that's what Larry Brown is going to try to get this team to remember. Guys, this is the way we play. This is the way we win. Forget about Game 6.
But right now, Larry Brown still, from a coaching standpoint, you've got to play like you still want to have a chance to win this game.
You have to ignore the scoreboard.
7 on the clock from McKee.
And just play the ball every single possession.
Cassell knocks it away. 2 on the clock. Air ball and a 24-second violation. It has been Murphy's Law for the 76ers, even though Murph had better luck than Philadelphia.
Who does he play for?
He was just one of those journeymen, played for just about everybody.
Okay.
Allen shooting 10 of 16 from the field, including 7 3-pointers, 7 of 9 from that range. Off balance, does not get the roll.
Ray Allen is just throwing the playbook out the window.
Jermaine Jones able to put it in.
Now, remember when the 76ers play that kind of defense, they get those chances to run out. And they have only had one of those tonight.
Still early here in the third quarter, but it has been all Milwaukee Bucks. Glenn Robinson misfires. Remember, the Bucks faced elimination twice in the Eastern Conference semifinals against Charlotte. Won both those games as Iverson knocks it down. But the Game 7 against Charlotte was on their home floor. Game 7, if that's the case in this series, would be in Philadelphia.
Iverson appeared to pull his head back that time. Sam Cassell just puts him to the floor, can't make a shot. Cassell only got 2 points in the game.
Well, but the difference here is now the jump shots are starting to come off a little bit. Dikembe Mutombo beats a Irvin Johnson ahead of the pack, and so in 3 possessions, quick and easy scoring opportunities for the Sixers, which means that the Bucks are starting to relax.
Second foul on Irvin Johnson, second team foul. They'll inbound.
Allen Iverson trying to play the defense there. He throws his chest right into the shoulder of Sam Cassell, who just was casually making his move. And I don't think it was so much fatigue in Game 5 when Milwaukee gave up the big lead. It's just a total relaxation and a casual approach.
Jermaine Jones short, Johnson the rebound. The only fatigue from Milwaukee right now is their right arm's going to be a little sore.
The fans from yelling, cheering.
You know, the Bucks fans were very nervous coming into this ball game, and with that huge lead, they were all Milwaukee Bucks. But, you know, they're a front-running crowd, and they know how important this game is to them. They get the ball hitting the back, and it's
going to be Milwaukee ball. The pass out was deflected. They're going to give it to Philadelphia. It's got to be Milwaukee.
No, Jack Nee saying stay here. As I said, he rushed. They're just pointing the wrong way, but the right call was made. Still Bucks ball.
I mean, if you're Larry Brown, you want to see this game down to 20, 18 points at the start of the 4th quarter, just so you know you're making progress and you're doing things that you need to do to be ready for Game 7.
Cassell.
And notice how much stickier the defense is right now. So they're playing better on the ball, and they give up a wide open shot to Scott Williams.
But they're gonna give that up if they come to double team Sam Cassell, which is beyond me why they don't post up whoever Allen Iverson is guarding. If you're Milwaukee.
Iverson against Allen. Allen's done a good job defensively and comes up with a steal. Ray Allen inside. Deflected out of bounds by Cassell.
Ray Allen is putting on quite a display of how to play this game tonight. He's stealing the ball. He's playing great defense. He's getting in the lane. His decision-making is flawless.
Allen, one of the upcoming stars in the NBA, but sometimes he doesn't get as much recognition because he's not a flashy player. He doesn't draw attention to himself. He just plays the game the right way. And a blocking foul called on Scott Williams. That'll be the 3rd team foul and 3rd on Williams.
But that recognition will come for Allen as the team continues to improve. This is one of the young rising teams in the league. Is going to be around for a long time. This guy's, what, 24 years old, Ray Allen?
Still very early in his career. Allen 25.
Cassell is a young 31.
Iverson, pretty move from Iverson, and he gets the roll. Now, we said this earlier in the playoffs. During the Olympics in Sydney, with all the top players playing for the United States, to a man, you asked the other 11 guys, who was the biggest surprise? Who's the guy that impressed you the most? They all said Ray Allen and how good he was his overall game. Ball deflected out of bounds. They'll keep it the same way.
Allen Iverson's relentless attack of the hoop. It was his beautiful start that gave Philadelphia its only hopes early on. He got the technical foul, and that ignited Ray Allen onto that huge run all by himself and caused a great separation here. Cassell trying to torch Iverson.
But let's remember this. You can't let a good jump shooting team shoot 66% and not respond. Iverson gonna get a 3-point shot.
This is a foul. This is the call that turned the game in Game 5.
And Cassell is hot again.
This time Iverson looked to pull Sam Cassell into him, a la a Reggie Miller or from the old days, a World Be Free.
It's a 3-point shot, so it'll be 3 free throws. The shot didn't go, but Iverson will go to the line for 3. Cassell picking up the personal foul. For Cassell, his second, but the Bucks still in complete control.
Normally a quick learner, Sam Cassell gets suckered again on a similar situation as he did in Game 5. Comes flying at Allen Iverson, which he shouldn't have done, and then Iverson pulls him down to draw the foul. Now, Sam Cassell shouldn't have been trying to block the shot anyway. The last time Allen Iverson made a 3 was 2 months ago at the start of the game.
He wasn't trying to block the shot. You're trying to disrupt the rhythm, trying to disrupt the follow-through.
The guy disrupted his own rhythm about 24 minutes ago.
You haven't heard a fool the referee. It worked that time.
So Iverson hitting the first. Tune in to NBC tomorrow for NBA Inside Stuff as the mob was shot. And Summer Sanders take a look at the Sixers, Jermaine Jones, and the Lakers point guard Derek Fisher. All that and more tomorrow on Inside Stuff. Check your local listings for time in your area. Hey, sometimes the officials just missed the call. Eddie Rush that time just missed it.
Well, it's okay if you missed the call, but if you're Sam Cassell, you got to know the guy is struggling. Let's see if he makes the shot. You don't have to comply. You got a big cushion here. You don't know anything about cushions, though, Bill.
Steve, he let him miss the shot. Allen Iverson pulled him to the ground. Iverson's got 5 turnovers and 2 assists in the game.
Ball knocked away and a turnover. Raja Bell is getting some minutes.
They put Bell in to defend, and he comes up with a good play, but the turnover situation is what helped Milwaukee get free reeling, and Philadelphia's won that battle. Iverson trying to save it and dish it, throws it away.
6 turnovers on the night. Now, for Milwaukee, with this lineup that Philadelphia's got in him, you got Raja Bell guarding Glenn Robinson. You've got to come right to Robinson immediately.
Raja Bell, a good defender, 6'5" rookie out of Florida International. Ball blocked for a foul as Ray Allen sent sprawling on the floor, but he'll get 2 free throws.
What ball movement. What teamwork. Everybody involved. You got a screener, you got a point guard, Cassell, you got Robinson coming off, you got a weak side cutter, and then you got the big rebounder, Irvin Johnson, coming in to finish up.
Mike, wasn't it game 3 that Bill was so enthusiastic and impressed with the Bucks and predicted that 70 points by halftime? Are you going back to that team now?
This is the team that I've been watching and following all year. When they gave away game 4, they gave away game 5.
You know, we talk so much about the character of the Philadelphia 76ers, and deservedly so. They've shown so much throughout the season and postseason. But how about the Milwaukee Bucks for the 2nd straight series with just a great performance in a game 6 when they trailed 3 games to 2. 7 on the shot clock. Iverson bumps, forces it up. Mutombo the rebound and able to dunk it. Dikembe Mutombo with just his 2nd field goal. Remember, he had 21 points in game 5. Allen shot misses. Scott Williams a rebound.
I love the creativity of Ray Allen. He's playing so well, he has no idea what he's going to do. He's just letting it flow. It's like an unbelievable guitar player who's just on a roll.
Robinson doubled. Cassell and a hard foul from Tyrone Hill. Hill picking up his 3rd. And 2 free throws coming up for Sam Cassell.
Sam Cassell has not made a 3-point shot in this series. They're going for pump fakes. That's how out of sync Philadelphia is. For Sam to pull the trigger from the dead corner.
Cassell hasn't taken many. He's only 0 for 3. He doesn't take as many threes as Robinson and Allen, but it is part of his game. As he gets the first and knocks down the second. It was Cassell in game 6 against Charlotte that had that explosive game. He had a 33-point, 11 assist game. Tonight in game 6 of this series, it's Ray Allen with his 33. But there's still 16 minutes to go. Iverson.
He tried to bank that.
And the Bucks will take over with just under 4 minutes remaining here in the 3rd. If you're just tuning in, it has been all Bucks. They led by 10 after 1 quarter. Led by 29 at halftime. They've led by as many as 33 as they try and even this best-of-7 series of 3 games apiece.
And you have to wonder if Larry Brown's even going to come back with an Eric Snow.
Cassell misses the follow, but gets the rebound. And the Bucks just beating the Sixers to the loose balls tonight. Robinson hits a 3.
That tells you what kind of ball game it is. Normally, the 76ers are the team that react to loose balls better. They're the hustle team. They have to have those kind of plays. That 3-point bomb that Glenn Robinson dropped in is typical of what the Bucks do. Iverson pulling off the shot again.
Williams the rebound. The Bucks are 9 of 13 from 3-point range. Raja Bell deflects it out of bounds. Still Milwaukee ball.
Glenn Robinson, the quick trigger after the offensive rebound by Sam Cassell. Again, exquisite ball movement, sharp, not forcing Glenn Robinson to have to put the ball on the floor.
Well, you know, we've talked about resiliency, and we have seen the 76ers get bombed in their Toronto series and bounce back and win. Iverson pulled his shirt up, but Cassell got away with it.
And Robinson fouling Bell to prevent the fast break. The Bucks continue to dominate. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the third. The lead remains at 29. The 76ers getting pummeled, but Allen Iverson still very much emotionally into this game. With 2:50 remaining in the third, they trail by 29, and an appearance from Matt Geiger. Geiger, who has tendonitis in his right quad, has only played in 6 playoff games and only one in this series. That was back in game 1 as Raja Bell hits the first. And unless Ray Allen and the Bucks avoid the biggest collapse of the history of the NBA playoffs, this series would head back to Philly for deciding game 7 on Sunday night. Again, a special time. Pre-game starts at 7. Tip-off would be 7:30.
What's up if necessary?
You wrote that in. You know how you are. You go with the team at the head, and now you switch. If necessary means exactly that.
And Tumble picks up his second foul.
Act like you didn't write that in.
I have a sneaking suspicion that it might be necessary.
Well, Larry Brown has basically called it off. Allen Iverson has gone to the bench.
And a foul call against Kevin Ollie. Iverson's to the bench, and Snow's probably not going to play anymore either.
But Larry Brown said he was very concerned about minutes for Snow, Iverson, and Mutombo.
That was if the game was close.
That was before the game.
If the game was close. This is over. So why even play him anymore?
Cassell hits a free throw. Bucks now 13 of 13 from the line. They've taken more free throws than the 76ers, which has been very rare.
Now you look, but all season long, there's been this huge argument throughout this series about how many times the Sixers go to the line and how the Bucks never do. But that's been the story all season long for both of these teams.
Yeah, but it's style of play. You got a jump shooting team versus a team that moves the ball, drives the ball to the bucket, and has a guy that will penetrate a lot. McKee against the clock.
2 on the shot clock, but Tumbo able to drop it in as we approach 2 minutes remaining. Iverson, again, may be done for the day, although I'm sure he'll try and get into Larry Brown's ear and have to put it in again.
Well, you know, they want him at 100% on Sunday evening, so there's no sense of bringing him back in the game. Milwaukee is freewheeling. You see how easily they're moving the ball. People are wide open.
Tim Thomas, and that's the 10th three-pointer of the game for the Bucks. 10 of 14 from beyond the arc.
This has just become a celebration. Fans haven't sat down, it seems like an eternity.
Well, the only thing about this is it makes it even. And they still have to win one more game, and really to have a true celebration. Nice drive, Bell. So they've done what they had to do, win to get back to Philadelphia.
And Ray Allen has to call timeout on the double team.
Is there a risk of having this gap be too big for Milwaukee?
No. I mean, they still got to play.
They're throwing salt right now in the wounds.
The Bucks continue to pour it on here in the third quarter. The defense not been up to snuff for the 76ers.
Penetrate at someone else's man. Sam Cassell content to set everybody else up tonight.
Nobody even close to Tim Thomas.
And all Iverson can do is look on in dismay and say, we got one more chance at home.
Coming up on a minute remaining in the third.
Well, you know the best thing about losing a game, it's better to get blown out in a game than it is to lose a close, heartbreaking game. Philadelphia knows they didn't do anything right in this game, and they can play much better. Can Milwaukee play better than this in Game 7?
I don't think it makes any difference how many you get beat by. It's how you get beat.
But each game in these kind of series, as Raja Bell hits a 3, takes on a life of its own, and you usually see any kind of carryover. or don't see any kind of carryover.
Wait, help me with that. If it doesn't matter how many you lose by, what difference does it make how you get beat?
If you get pummeled like they are right now, that causes some psychological problems. And since Sigmund, you solved them all for Milwaukee today, maybe you'd like to go and address the 76ers.
I'll open my office for the Sixers on Sunday.
Is the couch?
Yeah, it's available.
Okay.
I want to break this up for a moment. Ray Allen just did something wrong.
He fouled?
Yes.
Oh, my.
Ray Allen has been just remarkable in this game. 33 points, 4 assists.
Now, conversely, Bill Walton, when does Karl call the dogs off on his side?
Shot clock turned off as we wind down a third quarter.
I don't think he does. I think he gives these fans a feast. I think he keeps serving more food, more drinks.
Geiger blocked from behind by Lindsey Hunter. And there's the buzzer ending the third period. This is what you call a good old-fashioned blowout. We'll be right back after these messages and a word from your local station. You're watching the NBA playoffs on NBC. A 26-point lead for the Milwaukee Bucks, and the officials have refused a request for running time in the fourth quarter.
But Allen Iverson is back in.
Well, a bright spot, though, if you look at Philadelphia, they outscored Milwaukee by 3, so they're making some progress after getting 15 and 19 points. This is a team that's trying to get themselves ready for Game 7.
You knew Iverson would want to come back in the game.
The question is, would Larry Brown let him?
And Iverson quickly hits a jumper. Well, this is the closest the Sixers have been in the second half. That's how dominant Milwaukee has been tonight. The lead has been ballooned to as many as 33. Robinson. Good defense from Raja Bell. 2 on the shot clock. Lindsey Hunter nails one. Out. The shot clock expires.
If George Karl can use this time to get Lindsey Hunter into a groove, to get Jason Caffey into a groove, that could be a major, major factor come Game 7.
Well, George, you won't get a standing O in Philly. I can guarantee you that. So you better enjoy this bad boy right now. Caffey and the Bucks look on, and the Sixers just shaking their head. This is a team that's been beaten badly before in the playoffs, and they've been able to come back and play, particularly at home, when they have to stand up.
And the crowd's still very much into it, still chanting defense.
Got away with it.
Ali gets inside, misfires. And even though there was some terrific shooting by the Bucks, their defense early in this game was very strong.
They have made some major adjustments, particularly on Iverson's clear-out isolations on the right wing. They're forcing him back into help. They got burned badly in Game 4. Since then, they've done a much better job.
Nice strip by Ali. 3 on the clock for Allen.
Allen off the mark. Dikembe Mutombo with the rebound.
Back to the basket post-up game. Not the strength for Ray Allen.
Iverson hits a 3. Allen Iverson slices the deficit to 23.
Well, again, the one thing that Iverson and the Sixers do is they fight. They will keep fighting as long as you let them go out there. They're going to try to get control of the game, but they have not been able to make the Sixers shoot a lot of jump shots under pressure. Tim Thomas gets a foul against Jermaine Jones.
Here in the fourth quarter, the Bucks have had no chance to get into a flow up the court. Every time they've had to grind it out. Give some recognition to Philadelphia's defense, which was porous for long stretches in the middle part of this game. Come alive a bit late.
So Tim Thomas to the line. Tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern, the French Open returns to NBC. Andre Agassi achieving the career Grand Slam with his victory in the Roland Garros back in '99. Will this be his year again as he looks to take home a second French Open title in 3 years? Don't miss the French Open coverage beginning tomorrow at 12 noon Eastern on NBC.
Well, if this is a year of Agassi, he's going to have to get by Guga. Gurton is a terrific clay court player. He's the defending champion.
A little tennis analysis from Snapper.
Well, I knew Bill didn't know it, but I helped him out.
What are you talking about?
McKee. Oh, nice move from Aaron McKee.
This guy Guga's turnaround jumper. That's what I want.
Did he ever feed the post? That's what you want to know. Sixers still playing with a lot of effort despite the big margin. 6 on the shot clock. Iverson with the steal, but lost it out of bounds.
That one set out there like a big tomato, and he almost caught it.
3 left on the 24. Thomas will inbound. McCullough comes in. Ollie sits down.
Larry Brown still coaching this game to win.
He must know something we don't know.
He's got a team in there that he thinks he can win with. They're trying to find their game.
But remember, Milwaukee won a game this year. Iverson comes up short. They were playing in Miami. They were down by 21 and a foul. And all of a sudden, it's cut to 20. Now, there's still 9:13 remaining.
Yeah, but the problem when you're down as far as they are, everything has to be perfect for them, and the Milwaukee Bucks have to have a total collapse. This is the beginning of that kind of collapse when you make that kind of mistake. Again, what is Lindsey Hunter doing? Running at Allen Iverson. He just missed the 3. Give him the 3.
Bad decision, right? As I was saying, that game was in Miami, where Milwaukee was down. I believe it was 21 in the 4th quarter, came back and won the game.
Sam Cassell hit the game winner. A phenomenal run by Milwaukee.
Yeah, well,
but I'm going to be interested to hear what the conversation, how it went between Iverson and Larry Brown to bring him back to start this 4th quarter.
Iverson with 9 points already in the quarter, and we haven't even played 3 minutes in the period. And a steal. Iverson will not go away. Puts it in and one. And the Sixers have found life here in the 4th quarter. The lead is cut to 17. And a free throw coming up.
Carelessness by Milwaukee allows Allen Iverson to get out. And a silly foul. Iverson, you're not going to stop him from behind if you're Jason Caffey.
Iverson with maybe the quietest 31 points I can remember. And there's still 8:59 remaining in the game. 17 points is still a big deficit, but considering it was 33 in the 3rd quarter, the Sixers on a real roll. 13-4 start here in this quarter. Iverson coming up huge. Let's go to Lewis Johnson.
All right, Michael, Larry Brown that last time out telling everybody, that's right, we've got it down to 17, but now we've got to grind it out. We've got to do it on defense. He said we've got a lot of time to run things the right way. And Bill, as you said, Larry Brown has been coaching throughout the huge deficit, expecting that they could get back into this game and win it. Mike?
Thank you, Lewis. Sixers continuing to play physical defense. Didn't bother the Bucks at all through the first 3 quarters. Ray Allen, offensive foul, pushing off. Jermaine Jones played him beautifully. And that's Allen's 2nd personal.
You know, Ray Allen, when he comes like this, instead of stopping, he always pushes with that lead arm, and that time he got caught for the first time in the ball game.
Jermaine Jones, who has come so far, comes to work and learn every day from the defensive teaching wizardry of Larry Brown.
And a foul called on Urban Johnson.
Remember what George Karl told us about the perfect half? Well, they're now having a nightmare 4th quarter. I mean, the mistakes that they're making are all mental, and they're giving Philadelphia a little bit of life. Iverson for another 3.
Hooks it in. Allen Iverson from downtown. It's a 13-point game. What a remarkable turnaround.
Milwaukee has to maintain their composure. That was the problem for them in games 4 and 5.
Cassell looking to post up. Ray Allen misses the 3. McKee the rebound. Iverson drives in, the runner, and he's fouled, and Iverson will shoot 2.
And now Milwaukee is completely back on their heels, and Allen Iverson is playing by himself. The MVP on display.
Well, this was the last 3-pointer, and watch, he goes straight up, no fade, perfect release, and it goes in.
Then because of that outside shot, they got to honor that. They come out on the floor a little bit, and he just blitzes right by him.
Just a remarkable turn of events.
I want to know, in your hard drive there, who has been the greatest penetrators in the history of this league? The greatest guys that get into the hoop.
Isaiah Thomas, I'll give you one right off the bat.
What about Tiny Archibald?
Well, Tiny's one, but I mean, you said in my hard drive. You want to get in my hard drive too?
I've got a link.
11-point game.
Cappy knocked away, but a foul on Tyrone Hill. Be the second team foul. And for Hill, he picks up his fourth. Iverson in this quarter has 17 points. And remember, we've only played 4 minutes and 13 seconds. 17 points in 4 minutes and 13 seconds.
If you're Milwaukee, that clock seems like it stopped about a half an hour ago.
Well, what Milwaukee's got to do is get somebody to make the shot. That's all they need is someone like Robinson, Cassell, or Allen to make the shot, give them some room. That is only 6 points in the quarter for the Milwaukee Bucks.
So that ends the 14-0 run.
Iverson is coming from 40 feet away to receive that ball.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Still Sixer ball. Jason Cappy and Hill battled for it, and Cappy touched it last. Larry Brown will call timeout. Allen Iverson exploding here in the fourth quarter. The Sixers, once down by 33, have gotten themselves back in the game. Bill Walton, you said at the top of this game that Allen Iverson needed to lead them. The role players did it in Game 5. Well, he is certainly leading them, as you see him here saying, I'm not missing no more, and he has hardly missed here in this fourth quarter.
That's what the MVP is about, and that's what we've seen here in this 5-minute stretch of the fourth quarter where Allen Iverson has 17 points. Now, the man who led Milwaukee earlier, Ray Allen, he had 17 points in his own 5-minute stretch. But right now, as the game is coming into the closing moments, the critical time, it has been Allen Iverson standing the tallest.
Iverson bumped and knocked to the ground by Jason Cappy. And for the Milwaukee Bucks, now with 5 team fouls, let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, Mike, George Karl, during the last timeout, told the Bucks, hey, guys, quit standing around. Everything right now is at the Sixers' tempo and the Sixers' pace. We must reestablish control, and I don't want to see any more fouls. And right now, they just come right out and they foul Allen Iverson. Mike?
All right, Jim, and again, now in the penalty with 7:17 remaining.
Allen Iverson does not look tired at this point. You're talking about a guy who just got knocked down by Jason Cappy and popped up and went and chased the ball down.
He's got 19 points, and we haven't even played 5 minutes in this quarter.
Well, the record is 29 in one quarter by Sleepy Floyd for a playoff team. Isn't that correct?
That is correct. So your hard drive is working.
Still so much time remaining in this game. The Sixers have cut off 2/3 of what was a 33-point lead. Cassell, tough shot.
Mutombo.
And Tyrone Hill, good boxing out, grabs his 8th rebound.
Now what's happened is the ball movement has disappeared for Milwaukee. They're standing and looking, and it's one-on-one.
Iverson for 3. Nearly banks it in, and Cassell able to track it down.
If Mutombo's going to set that high screen for Allen Iverson, Irvin Johnson has got to come out and deny it. Iverson is so hot.
Well, let's see if Milwaukee can get back some rhythm right now. Everything is gone. Ray Allen for 3.
Allen answers back. His first bucket of the fourth quarter. And now at 36 for the game.
Ray Allen's career-high playoff total is 38, so he may get past that. Iverson's 54.
McKee. Falling away. Aaron McKee, tough shot. Rebound, Mutombo knocked out of his hands and picked up by the Bucks.
McKee had Iverson moving wide open to the corner. They're going to go into Sam Cassell in the low post here.
Iverson hurt as he's trying to deny Sam Cassell. Those two have been really pushing and shoving each other. Iverson goes for the steal. Cassell left wide open but can't connect. Raja Bell getting big minutes. McKee inside, lays it in, and it's back to a 12-point game.
A lot of time for Philadelphia. Milwaukee's not scoring.
But a lot of it is they're not moving the ball. They're dribbling the ball, they're standing around, and it's one and done. So they got to get back to that freewheeling offense that they displayed. The big dog has it stripped.
Cassell.
Foul Cassell.
Cassell and Iverson fall on each other, but they're having some fun there. As Cassell's laughing, talking in Iverson's ear. And good sportsmanship from the two of them.
They're having fun there, but the last possession was Sam Cassell trying to bully his way over the little guy down into the low post. Now, Iverson will give you a lot of flop and a lot of gesturing with that body.
So Iverson will go to the line for two more. 5:14 remaining. And again, the penalty for the Bucks being in the penalty so early is certainly hurting them here in the fourth.
And just think how a jump shooting team can go dead in the water. 60 points at the break. They now have only scored 29 points since that time. Well, Iverson is keeping his word. He ain't missing nothing.
But it's a charged Philadelphia defense that's got him back here.
Well, if you're George Karl, you say this should have never happened. But we started standing around 21 in the quarter. Wait Sleepy Floyd up.
And a foul call on Aaron McKee. Iverson for the game has 41. And the Sixers only down by 10. The last time they trailed by 10 was at the end of the first quarter. They've trailed by as many as 33. Trying to make what would be the greatest comeback in NBA playoff history.
Nice step out, Mutombo.
Again, see, this is what gets the Bucks in trouble right here. A lot of dribbling, and then they got a hope. Ray Allen drops in another big shot. That's 8 3-point field goals for Ray Allen.
Allen with 39. That is a playoff career high.
George Karl loves the freelance pick and roll out really high. Ray Allen able to capitalize.
Iverson gets inside and
Oh,
fouls.
my.
And a chance to get back to 3 points. Ray Allen, by the way, that was his 9th three-pointer of the game. And Iverson now, unbelievably, has 23 points in the quarter, and there's still 4:37 remaining.
Let's go back to the NBA All-Star game where Allen Iverson was the MVP. And with all those giants from the Western Conference, Allen Iverson was saying, hey, yeah, I'm coming right to this hoop, and I'm going to make a layup every single time. And there was nothing that those guys could do about it.
And hits the free throw. Again, it's a 10-point game.
And he has carried that on. I don't know if I've ever seen such a little guy be able to score so easily and in the face of those big guys as Allen Iverson.
4.5 to play here in the fourth. Ray Allen has tied the NBA playoff record with 9 three-pointers in the game. Irvin Johnson all alone. Hard foul behind from Raja Bell. Vince Carter had 9 three-pointers earlier in the playoffs, and Rex Chapman previously held the mark. And still does, obviously, with the other two.
Well,
and there you see some of the top three-point performances in playoff history. Now Irvin Johnson to the line for the first time tonight.
A nervous crowd now here at the Bradley Center. They were comfortable and cocky and really feeling good about where they were position-wise. Suddenly the team stalls and Iverson gets red hot. And they've got to have everything. Johnson gets the first free throw.
Irvin Johnson steps up. He was only 4 of 8 from the line of the series. 2 big free throws from the Bucks big man. And the crowd with another standing ovation.
Give it to Iverson and get out of his way. Through his legs. Crossover. Tease him.
Puts it up. Shot won't go. Ray Allen played him beautifully that time.
He made that one harder than he needed to because he could have gotten to the lane, probably gotten fouled. And I'm sure Larry Brown's going to tell him, when that middle is open, take it inside.
Raja Bell knocks it away. Robinson, second effort. Puts it in. Glenn Robinson with a big shot. And the lead back to 14. Timeout, Philadelphia. The Milwaukee Bucks try to hold off a furious rally and try to force a Game 7. There's been some amazing performances throughout NBA playoff history. Points in a quarter, as mentioned, Sleepy Floyd, Marcus Dwyer with the Mavericks, and Charles Barkley with the Suns, and now it's Allen Iverson's turn. Getting to the free throw line, and he's got 24 with still over 3.5 remaining.
Now the Sixers want out of this play is a score. So they want to make sure that they either get a good look at the hoop or they get to the free throw line. McKee. Now, those are the only two guys that have scored here in the quarter for the Sixers.
That's as tough a shot as you can make. He lost his balance, came to a dead stop, had no momentum whatsoever. But what Philadelphia has done and succeeded here in the second half is that they have exacted a price. They have taken Milwaukee out of their free-flowing game. They put that seed of doubt in Milwaukee's mind. You can see it in the Bucks' face.
Ray Allen falling away. Won't go. Johnson tips it up and puts it in with the left hand. Terrific play from Irvin Johnson. And it's back to 14 with just under 3 minutes remaining. Iverson. Mutombo. Mutombo again.
Continuing the offensive board work that he's put on display throughout this series. Again, when Iverson shoots, everybody from Milwaukee is standing there watching.
Now, if you're Milwaukee, you don't panic. You've got the advantage. You just got to make sure you get the ball to guys where they can get a look at it. The big dog answers 6 1/4 for him.
And all 3 buckets by Robinson were big baskets in terms of stopping momentum.
But he's always had a guy on him where he's a much better shooter.
Iverson gets in there. He thought he was fouled, able to put it in.
26.
For Glenn Robinson, who had a game winner wide open at 10 feet in the closing seconds there of game 5. Tough to shoot the wide open one.
So now the Sixers running out of time. Tim Thomas knocks it down, and it's back to 14 with under 2 minutes remaining. And Milwaukee just may held off this amazing charge. That shot didn't count. A whistle before. So a foul call. Free throws coming up.
We talked about role players at the start of this game for Philadelphia. They tend to play a lot better at home when everything is going their way. People are cheering them. Irvin Johnson making the nice tip in there. It was Tim Thomas with a turnaround jumper. Jason Caffey has had a solid game. Of course, Scott Williams came through magnificently.
And McKee misfires. And of course, if the Bucks hold on, what a performance by the Sixers here in the 4th. Game 7 Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. The pregame tip-off at about 7:30 from the First Union Center.
It is necessary. 7 1/4 for McKee.
There's a foul, and Philly's going to make the Bucks hit some free throws before this one's over.
But, you know, what they're trying to do right now is get ready for Sunday. Allen Iverson led the charge. He finally got that game that says he's awake, he's back in it. And Larry Brown is feeling a whole lot better about going back home, knowing, hey, my guys remember how to play the right way. And if they come out with that kind of charge on Sunday, the Milwaukee Bucks are going to have to play their best game on the road this season.
The Bucks dominated this game through the first 3 quarters, led by as many as 33 points. As dominant as you'll see a playoff game. And it looked like the Sixers would just kind of play out the string in the 4th quarter. But the Philadelphia 76ers stormed back, cut it to 10 at one point, and now it's back to 15 as they run out of time here at the Bradley Center. Iverson, nice feed. Mutombo stuffs it in.
Ray Allen has 41. That is 5 away from Kareem's record.
And a foul called on Rajah Bell with 1:28 remaining. So Robinson will go to the free throw line. Then Robinson with a strong game, 21 points and 5 assists.
No, they're going to take Iverson out.
No record for Iverson. That will be the 4th best total.
Takes Mutombo out. Larry Brown acknowledging that this one's over.
26 points in the 4th quarter for Allen Iverson. 46th of the game.
Hey, how many people are 18,000 plus? It's a sellout. And don't think that when Iverson went on that roll, a lot of people started getting very nervous. I bet they are glad that time was on their side tonight.
The Bucks took an amazing hit able to recover. Ray Allen and Glenn Robinson hitting big shots every time the Sixers came close to cutting it to single figures. Rodney Buford in the game, lays it in.
Hometown kid gets in and gets a couple of points. Larry Brown wanted to play him more, but the game situation hasn't really dictated it. But now, with this one over, at least he gets an appearance at all.
The Bucks will now go to 3-0 in elimination games. Ray Allen.
If you're Milwaukee, this is where the crowd can really help you. This is where their constant cheering in the closing moments of this game is going to give the team enough, maybe enough, to fight off that wild crowd that we'll see in Philadelphia Sunday.
You think that thing is going to carry on for 2 days? They can hear it in Philly?
It's going to need to carry on.
Unless they get him some tickets and bring him to Philadelphia with them.
There are no tickets. What did you just say?
Would you like me to play it back?
Yeah, I don't understand it. This is a celebration tonight, but there's Saturday and there's Sunday, and they won't hear any of it.
Regardless of the crowd, Sunday's game will be the 100th game of the season for both these teams. What's amazing is they're the #1 and #2 seeds in the East. Both teams were extended to 4 games in the first round. Tough series in the opening round. Both went to 7 in the conference semifinals, and now fittingly, they'll go to a 7th game in the conference finals.
But look at the second half for the Philadelphia 76ers. They outscore them 23-20 in the third quarter. The numbers for Ray Allen, a career high, and a great first half of play for Ray Allen, and some big hoops here to seal the deal.
Raja Bell leaning in. The Bucks will have some confidence. Of course, they won Game 2 in Philly and came very close to winning Game 5. They'll get a chance to get a road win in Game 7 on Sunday.
The 76ers scored 43 points in the final period of play. If they had had just a smidge of that in the first half.
Milwaukee's counter to that is that, hey, look, the game was over. We just let them come back in.
The guy in the green coat didn't look like he was letting anything out over there.
8.1 seconds remaining. So there'll be a Game 7 Sunday in Philadelphia. Fittingly for these two teams, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Pre-game coverage begins. Tip-off at 7:30. These two teams battling to the 7th and deciding game, and a right to go to the NBA Finals and face the LA Lakers.
Buford for 3.
And Hunter will dribble it out. A tremendous comeback attempt by the Sixers, but the Bucks hold them off. Ray Allen, just a brilliant performance with a career playoff high of 41. Allen Iverson, 26 points in the fourth quarter alone, 46 for the game, as they cut a 33-point deficit to 10, but Milwaukee holds on to tie the series at 3. Let's go to Jim Gray.
All right, thank you very much, Mike. Ray, congratulations on your career high. How nervous were you there in the fourth quarter when Allen Iverson put on that show and brought this team back from 33 down to 11?
He did put on the show. I was amazed at times because he was hitting from everywhere, and we couldn't stop him at that point, but we just had to keep our composure. We've been known to blow leads throughout the course of the regular season, but we pulled it out tonight.
How did you manage to steady this ship when you hit those 2 big three-pointers?
Well, I had my mind focused in on scoring just as well. I think at those times in the game, I wanted to step up and take the big shot.
Now, you've won 2 games in Philadelphia this year, one in the playoffs and almost another. Does that give you confidence for Sunday going into Game 7?
Regardless of what's happened during the regular season, this playoffs is Game 7. I think anything can happen, and we're going out to get a victory.
Ray, congratulations. Great game tonight.
Thanks, son.
All right, back to you, Mike.
A remarkable performance from Ray Allen. The Bucks hold on and tie the series at 3. Game 7 coming up Sunday. We'll be back after this timeout.